Hayden Bentley. He's a motorsport legend in this area, runs the Bridle 400.
Hayden owns 65 kilometres of racetrack.
I think my passenger was panicking a bit.
You ever seen a better shed full of boys' toys?
I don't have enough money, but I want one.
But the actual G-force that you get, a number of competitors actually throw up.
This is one of the greatest views I've ever experienced in my life.
So highlight is when you get to the top.
The camera car overheated.
Just a sign of things to come.
Good morning everyone and welcome to another big day. It's day 2 here in the Southern Flinders and the weather is looking absolutely cracking.
Why would you want to be anywhere else doing anything else?
Simon had told us that breakfast was sorted. He didn't tell us any more than that, so we weren't quite sure what we were in for.
We're heading out for breakfast at a mate of mine's place. He's a motorsport legend in this area, runs the Bridle 400. It is Hayden Bentley from Bentley Motorsports.
Hayden invited us out to his home and oh my gosh, the home is amazing.
For him to invite us into our home, you can just tell they're really down-to-earth, nice people.
They were very kind to put on a big breakfast for us, coffee, orange juice, bacon, eggs.
It was actually a really good start to the morning compared to yesterday, that's for sure.
Really great to catch up with Simon and the whole crew travelling through the Flinders. 4 Drive TV were involved with the Flinders 400 and the Flinders 450 in off-road racing national titles.
The other real treat, we got to go into his shed, and I'm a bloke and I love sheds, and I got to tell you, I have got shed envy.
Bentley Motorsports has been in off-road for over 35, 40 years now. We were the first to run an all-wheel drive trophy truck in Australia. The all-wheel drive trophy truck that we're currently running, we're running a VR38 billet block engine in it, twin turbo, so we're pushing well over 1,000 horsepower. The truck weighs around about 3 tonne, all-wheel drive, running 39-inch tyres.
It's got a bit more power than the Michael Prado, so maybe we can get some tips for our next car.
First race that I did with it, with the power that I wanted, was the one I jumped that creek and broke my back. I had a compression fracture in my back.
You ever seen a better shed full of boys' toys?
No. This is actually amazing.
You've got ATVs, you've got caravans, you've got all the possible toys you could ever imagine.
Man, I don't have enough money to have a workshop like that, but I want one.
Hayden had a surprise to take our cars to the max. Now speaking of max, we had a special announcement of our own. We've got a very special announcement this morning. Max, the camera car driver and photographer, is actually turning 21 today.
Happy birthday, Maxie boy.
Happy birthday, Maxie!
Happy birthday, Max.
Happy birthday, Max!
Happy birthday, Max!
Happy birthday, little buddy.
Thank you very much, everyone. Wouldn't want to spend it any other way.
And he doesn't look a day over 20. Camera crew, here's another one for you. Hey Jamie. Yes. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? What? A carrot.
We headed out towards Port Augusta. We get off-road, we go along these long dirt tracks, getting nice and dusty.
We just couldn't believe the variance of terrain. We've approached this track and there's just all this sand, so we thought, oh, okay, it might be a bit softer than we expected, so we let some air down and hit the track.
It's a scrub block basically, really good for racing.
Hayden actually owns 65 kilometres of racetrack, and what the track looks like and taking those buggies on there, I can't believe he actually does that.
We've owned Bridle Off-Road Racetrack for around about 20 years, and it's actually the oldest off-road racetrack in Australia as far as we're aware. We did the 18-kilometre short loop this morning, which opened a few eyes.
2,500 acres out here. You don't realise how big it is until you're lost on it.
Baja mode engaged in the Raptor yet?
Yeah, mate, Baja mode's engaged for all it's worth.
Tristan and Mitch, what do you reckon?
Look, honestly, I'm loving it, but Mitch is telling me to slow down a bit. He's being a bit of a princess here.
Absolutely insane speeds. I mean, Hayden can get those little buggies up to 200 kilometres per hour. Honestly, he knows what he's doing, so it's completely safe, but wow, that just blows my mind.
If you're loving this content as much as we love making it, make sure you follow our page.
They are able to clear right over the top of 2, 3 at a time. Of course, we were doing them one at a time. Honest, boss, I wasn't going any faster than that. It would have been absolute thrill to get out here in one of their buggies.
Now, okay, they didn't let us loose in a full spec off-road buggy. It's probably for the best. I'm not going to say I'm good enough to drive one.
Not sure if it'd be game enough to get in the car doing 200 k's an hour around those tracks, but it would be certainly great to watch.
I think my passenger was panicking a bit as I was hitting those hills, just a bit too fast, but some people are built for it, some aren't, quite simply.
It was actually quite funny. He mentioned that a number of people come out to the track, but the actual G-force that you get as you go through those berms, he's had a number of competitors actually throw up.
How's baby going, Charlie?
Well, she hasn't thrown up yet, but some of these bumps on the breakfast is loosening up a little bit.
How's your stock suspension going, ARB?
Well, look at it this way. On the GoPro, there's going to be some awesome footage of my man boobs jiggling.
How's that cambered corner? You really want that at some speed.
Well, this loose sand has given me a real easy slide.
If it wasn't for this dust, I'd have a real clear view.
Had a bit of a power slide there too.
Saying you need the vision to go further, Simon.
Hey, you stop being such a my cool man.
Not again, please.
We've just finished Hayden Bentley's off-road racetrack. We had a great time on that. He's now guiding us out into the Flinders Ranges. We're going to do the Bridal Track this afternoon. Really excited about that, so thank you, Hayden, for showing us around. All right, we're sitting here waiting, so it must be time for a joke. I'm only afraid of one thing at Halloween, which is... Oh.
After leaving the property, we headed towards the Port Germaine Gorge to head up to the top of the Bridle Track.
Anya, the colours are just stunning, and I can't believe how much greenery there is in here.
That's amazing, Simon. It's taken me back to our Alice Springs trip where we're driving through those gorgeous canyons, and the rock face is amazing.
It takes me back to home, mate. This is very reminiscent of the Northern Territories, like Anya said, around Alice Springs, but absolutely amazing contrast coming off the coast straight into these hills here.
I'd like to do it as a passenger so that I could see a little bit more of it.
I was lucky to be in the passenger seat so I could just admire the views.
And we were just baffled by the variance of scenery. We'd look one side and it was just rolls of hills, and then we looked the other side, just a massive rock wall.
I felt such like a little dwarf driving through there, but the scenery was absolutely spectacular.
You continue on through the Port Germaine Gorge and then turn into the actual range itself, up Survey Road, and that brings you onto the Bridal Track.
Pretty cool to see the changes across these flat coastal plains, which are a mixture of agricultural paddocks down here.
The Bridal Track, it's 20 minutes out of Pirrie. We try and get up here a couple of times a year when we can. It's an open road to the public. They can come up here whenever they like. Bridal Track is the start of the Southern Flinders Ranges.
And then we started the climb up and I have to say, it did not disappoint.
It's awesome.
How's the views out both sides? This is just incredible.
This is one of the greatest views I've ever experienced in my life.
Look at the little cities back there. That's Port Germaine back there.
You could see out over the whole ocean. You could even look behind you and you just had mountains.
Nothing but blue sky in all directions. It doesn't matter where you look. It is unbelievable.
Magical was an understatement. We were looking around thinking all this time and effort just for these exact moments.
The highlight is when you get to the top.
Park up on the left, guys. Park up on the left.
We stopped and had lunch up there and we lined all the cars up and the vehicles were all facing the water.
The sun coming over the top, it was reflecting off of the water, really was sensational.
We were actually looking over the racetrack that we'd previously been driving around.
I cannot stress enough, that's somewhere everyone should try and get to once.
Made some food, sat down in the chair. It's not often that you get to have that type of serenity around you. The really nice thing to just sit there in your own thoughts and look out at the ocean.
So once we finished lunch, we all packed up and headed down the rest of the Bridle Track.
I decided to get behind the wheel for the trek down.
Can you guide me, Charlie, here?
Nothing to worry about.
I let Mitch drive. He was getting a bit yippy in my ear, asking me, he's like, you know, Tristan, please, can I drive?
You're such a princess. Actually, you are, look at you.
We didn't come down the same way we went up. We came down a very steep decline, a lot of sharp rock, a lot of washaways. It was quite technical. We really had to be careful. It was very much low range, very slow.
Normally with a four-wheel drive, you can straddle the ruts quite easily, but these were going all over the place.
Really had to watch your track and your wheel alignment.
But at the same time, you're just so distracted by these surreal 360 views as the water, the ocean. It was just a truly magical experience.
How pretty is that? Sorry.
It was a little bit sketchy. A lot of backseat driving on Charlie's behalf.
All right, you're going to go into the... Jesus.
I was trying to dodge the sharp rock.
You're about to drive into a tree.
No, I wasn't.
Some were slower than others. We won't point fingers, but it might have been me.
That's it, Piranha. Maybe into second gear about now, or perhaps try third.
Mitch is the one driving. He's a little bit of a baby.
It gave us a really good opportunity just to continue the bit of banter we've had going with Mitch and Tristan from Piranha. I think it's time to switch out drivers. Princess isn't doing so well. Banter all started, Hoodie and I telling Mitch and Tristan that their water can had come loose. They both jumped out of the car, only to find out that it was perfectly secure.
They're very arrogant for no reason, I think. No, we just got a bit of friendly banter.
We're watching you, all right? You're not going to know what's coming. We're coming for you.
So once we finished the Bridal Track, we headed back to Hayden's properties.
Never been on racing tracks or on bridle tracks. It was really cool to see the scenery of South Australia.
The sun's going down. That's pretty well a wrap for day 2. This is what we've experienced so far. It's going to be hard for Simon to keep topping it. Let's see what day 3 and beyond bring.
Here we are, day 3, your 4x4. Last night we got to spend an awesome night in the new Bentley's Cabin Park here in Port Augusta. Today's shaping up to be a spectacular day. We're heading out to the Argadel's Homestead.
I have a joke for you. Big wind turbines on a hill, doing their job as they do. And one of them says to the other one, hey, what kind of music do you like? And the second one goes, oh, I like a little bit of everything. What about you? He goes, oh, I'm a big metal fan.
Started off quite well in convoy, going up towards Corn. When catastrophe struck and the camera car overheated. Simon and Charlie from My Coolman turned around, went back, made sure the car was okay while we all continued on.
It's going along the highway and up on the dash screen just pops up, overheating engine, idle.
We didn't think about it at the time, but the camera car overheating was just a sign of things to come.
It was definitely a warning sign.
The camera car decided to do what all your 4x4 cars decide to do on these trips, and that's break down. Doesn't look anything too major. I gave her a quick top up, let it cool down, and we're back on the road again. So the camera guys did a good job. They pulled up before any damage was done. But this is just a reminder, always check your oil and water before every day adventure.
Got the camera car all sorted out. All the little cars had a hard life.
We started heading out down the Ardenvale Road and we've ended up at Argadells. Argadells is a working sheep station.
Rocking up to the Homestead, you could definitely see there was a touch of history going on here.
It's just laid out perfectly. You've got some rustic farm machinery. We're also just surrounded by stunning mountain ranges, and on a day like this, in spring, blue sky everywhere, I think it probably hit 30 degrees today. What a day to be here, absolutely stunning.
Pulled up at the Homestead, introduced ourselves to Paul and Mark, our guides for the day. On to getting some maps so we wouldn't get lost.
Really wonderful of Mark and Paul and young Sam to open the park to us and to welcome us.
Hey, I'm Sam and I'm the boss of Argadells. The crew from your 4x4 have came out to Argadells and we're going to show them around our property.
First gorge, a little bit of a hint of what we've got for the first section. It's looking very pretty and the colours just look amazing. Yeah, welcome to Argadells. How good does this look?
The scenery is absolutely spectacular here. There's even a little rock there with a plaque, gives you a bit of a history here at the Argadells. It's not just all about going forward driving, there's also a history and something to learn about this region as well.
It's amazing how it's changed from yesterday, looking out to the ocean and it was flat, and now we're these tiny vehicles driving through these amazing mountain faces.
Every time you turn a corner, there was something new and breathtaking to look at. I could pull up in one of those creek beds, just sit back and contemplate the world for a week or two.
That red rock face is absolutely stunning.
The amazing looking landscape. A lot of green trees on those hills. Looks like it's going to be a good adventure.
We love getting people out here to explore our station. All up there is 50 k's of forward driving with gorges and steep hills to climb.
We were completely surrounded by mountain peaks all around us. It didn't matter which way you looked. Every moment on the drive up there, we're thinking, they can't get any better than this.
Wow, that is just, look at that, mate.
You could see the mountains just rolling, and I was trying to drive and keep on track and trying to look where I was going. It was very difficult.
Join us next week as we drive along beautiful ridgelines, reach the top of Mount Arden to take in the stunning 360-degree views, and tackle the rest of what Argadells has to offer.
Copy, convoy. The camera car's down.
Rocky terrain, claimed another victim.
Gosh, I hope this thing can make it. We've still got a fair way to go and it's still going to get hotter.
I love carpet. I love desk.
Brick, are you just looking at things in the office and saying that you love them?
I'm a bloke and I love sheds.